Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Preston's Travel Moments. This is episode 3 of our New York City series. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. It's been a lot of fun to make and get to look back and remember all of my experiences and to get to share them all with you. Once again, I forgot to film an intro for this video, so here it is. So quickly, I just want to give you guys a quick rundown of what went on the third full day in New York City. So first, we started the day at the top of the Rock and got to see all the incredible views of New York City from up there. And then we went to lunch at McGee's Pub, which is the kind of the inspiration for my favorite TV show of all time, How I Met Your Mother. You'll get to see all kinds of cool pictures and things like that of the restaurant. And then from there, we went and saw the Museum of Broadway, which houses all kinds of really cool like relics and old costumes, old playbills, all kinds of cool and interesting old things over the course of the history of Broadway. And then we ended the night by going to see The Book of Mormon, which is a musical I'd never seen before, but it was so good. It was so funny. The music was incredible. The acting was great. I had a really great time. And then to top it all off, we spent a little bit of time walking around Times Square at night and just getting to see all of the bright, colorful billboards and getting to be around the hustle and bustle of all the people was honestly just kind of magical. So come along with me. Let's go experience day 3 in New York City. For lunch, we went to McGee's Pub, which like I mentioned earlier was the inspiration for my all-time favorite TV show, How I Met Your Mother. The food was really good, and I loved the overall atmosphere and all the pictures on the walls from the show, and there were even some pictures of the cast actually at the restaurant. For someone who's as big a fan of How I Met Your Mother as I am, this was a must-do on my list. All right, so after lunch, we then headed back to Times Square to go to the Museum of Broadway. But before I show you anything in there, let me explain. So the Museum of Broadway is basically one big, long exhibition telling the story of Broadway from beginning to now. So as you go throughout the museum, it highlights some of the biggest musicals that Broadway has ever seen. And for the bigger musicals, there's a whole room typically dedicated to that musical, and in that little room we'll have like things like the original playbills or costumes, set pieces, kind of any memorabilia associated with that musical. So it's really cool to get to not only see all of these musicals and get to read about their history, but to also see physical, tangible things from the original runs on Broadway was really cool. This room is dedicated to Andrew Lloyd Webber and Cameron McIntosh, and you'll see costumes from their most famous musicals, including Evita, Cats, Les Miserables, and The Phantom of the Opera. For those that don't know, The Phantom of the Opera is the longest-running musical in Broadway history, having just celebrated its 35th year on Broadway. However, it is set to close in April of 2023. This is a full-scale model of the Gershwin Theater, which is the home of Wicked, my all-time favorite musical. The Gershwin Theater is also the largest theater on Broadway, with seats for up to 1,900 people. In the model, not only do you get to see the actual theater itself, but you also get to see backstage and the backstage areas such as the dressing room, and even some of the exterior parts of the building. Although it can take a while to move through the entire exhibition, it's well worth it for anyone who loves Broadway. I would highly recommend for anyone who wants to learn a little bit more about Broadway and how it got to be what it is today. From there, it was time for another night on Broadway. For dinner, we stopped at Gray's Papaya, which is a hot dog restaurant that was featured in my favorite TV show of all time, How I Met Your Mother. And then it was time to go see The Book of Mormon. Now, this was a musical I hadn't seen before, but I'd heard a lot about and heard it was really good, and I was not disappointed. This musical is honestly so funny, and the music is really, really good. I had a great time, and I think it might be one of my new top 5 favorite musicals. It was that good. But the night wasn't quite over just yet. I wanted to spend some time just walking around and exploring Times Square at night. And let me tell you, that is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Just between all of the bright lights and the bright colors and all of the people, it's something really special, and I really enjoyed it. with that, that's going to wrap up this episode of the vlog. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the like button as well. Share it with your friends. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.